Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not welcome back to the Dragon Ball Z review series where actually continuity is not bad in this one. So, Bojack Unbound tells the story of the Z Warriors after the destruction of Cell, now in a world tournament where not just humans but aliens are also allowed, and aliens arrive in the form of Bojack and his henchmen who want to take over the world. What else? And Gohan and the others have to stop him. That's right, Gohan. So first and foremost, I remember I said that I don't remember much about this one. I think I see bits and pieces of it. If I did, I don't remember any of it. Because the only thing I remembered is that Goku was dead. This was after Goku died. So, for those who don't know, towards the end of the Cell saga, Goku sacrifices himself because Cell grew himself real big. So, okay, I have to explain. Cell is a being from the future who, in that timeline, killed Trunks when he returned after the end of the arc. When he came back to the future, took his time machine and went back to get the androids because he was also created by Dr. Gero, and if he absorbs androids 17 and 18, he'll achieve perfect form. That is very complicated, but yes. During a fight, he gets punched very hard in the stomach and spits out Android 18, reverting him to his second form, and then decides he's going to blow himself up. Not wanting the world to be destroyed, especially his own son, Goku, used instant transmission to transform himself and Cell to King Kai's planet, and then it blows up. Why he can't just grab King Kai and the others and instant transmission back, I don't know. As I don't know how fast it goes, but yeah. Now I had to explain that because we find out that the four Kais, that'd be the north, south, east, and west, of which we don't. Hey, Dragon Ball University, you forgot another thing in your why Dragon Ball Z, why this can't happen. King Kai explains the four Kais here, but in the World Tournament that Goku is in, that takes place years later in the Afterlife Tournament where he meets what's his face, the knockoff Piccolo guy. King Kai has to explain to Goku the North, South, East, and West Kais and the Grand Kais and all that. But here, he already explains it. Now, I know Goku's not the best listener, but that means he technically explained it twice, but you can also write that off. I watched this video, by the way. It's very quick. He says this is the most plausible, and it is the most plausible to fit through. It takes place during the 7-year time jump, and it would work, you know? As he points out, Baby Trunks is still a baby. Goten's not yet born. Chi-Chi is obviously pregnant, but not showing. You have Mr. Satan, or Hercule, as I will refer to him, being known as the world champion who defeated Cell, which is absolutely not true, but it's a running joke that no matter what happens, he's always the one taking credit for it. Beyond me. And as mentioned, Goku and King Kai are now dead due to the explosion on the planet. Does that mean that Gregory and Bubbles are also dead? I guess. They also have some kind of character development for Vegeta here. Is after Goku's death, he becomes withdrawn. He wanted to be the one to kill Goku, and he hasn't. Although he does just show up out of nowhere to fight Bojack here, but because they need him in here. As he also mentions in that video, Trunks has his long hair, which would mean that this has to happen right after the events of the Cell games, before he cut it and went back to the future, which is also very plausible. Or he also says that he left, was gone for a year, came back to the exact moment. I think the first one is more plausible. It could be very plausible that he hasn't left. This is right afterwards. Some kind of tournament. I don't know. They just had the Cell games, but I have no tournament very quickly, but it doesn't really matter. Continuity is a mess in his movies anyway. But this is the most plausible to actually happen. Yes, so King Kai explains that the four Kais, north, south, east, and west, of which King Kai is the North Kai, we find out later in the Afterlife Tournament arc. He's the North Kai, and they sealed Bojack within the confines of King Kai's planet, and when it was destroyed, he was set free. Now, I think inside of a planet is very stupid to begin with. I don't know, but yeah, he was set free, and so then he descends upon Earth to destroy it. Now, this guy, Essex Cash, XS Cash, yeah, that is his name, is set up this tournament for his son, who's like the same age Gohan was when the show started, I think. And his son loves aliens, so he's about aliens. But unbeknownst to everyone, including his son, the aliens are fake. That is until they are replaced by Bojack's henchmen. Yeah, I'm not going to try to remember their names, but yes. Bizu, I think, is one of the names. Is that the dog? Or is it Bidu? Bidu, I don't know. Yeah, I do like when Krillin has to face Piccolo and Piccolo just doesn't see the point. He doesn't see the challenge, so he just forfeits to Krillin. And then in his very next fight, he's fighting the sumo guy, and he's like, I just beat Piccolo, you know. I'm just like, you didn't beat Krillin. For some reason, Hercule's hair is blue here. I don't know. It's supposed to be brownish black. And if you don't know, Hercule is the biggest chicken. He's built up as this guy who's going to defeat Cell. Doesn't happen, but everyone believes he does. And Goku allows this to happen because, as they explain in the series, it allows cover so that the people of Earth can, still think they're safe and sound, and, there's not a lot of things going on. Although this tournament kind of disproves that. They're flying around. People are like, they're flying, and some guys going, oh, it's wires. I'm sure it's wires, but there's a lot that happens that just, and then people start dying, and they're like, but, yeah, Hercule. And he's very afraid, and he's trying to hide. He sees the Z Fighters, as they're called, and recognizes them from the Cell games. Doesn't want anything to do with them, despite the fact I don't think any of them, even, the only one that he should be really afraid of is Gohan. Krillin didn't do much, and honestly, I'm not afraid of Krillin. Piccolo, maybe a little bit. I'm also confused why Piccolo has entered as his real name is in the World Tournament 7 years later. He enters as Ma Jr. because he doesn't want anyone to know his real name. But here he's just Piccolo. This could be written before that, I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't know if these movies were written before the show was going on, or if they were written. I don't know. But, so Bojack, starts to attack, and we have fight scenes. Vegeta comes to save the day. I don't necessarily think Trunks needed to be here. He is, in my opinion, sort of out of place, in a way. I just feel like, on the show, they defeat Cell. They have this great epilogue where things are kind of moving on. It feels like an ending. And, he goes back to the future. He defeats his android because he's now a bazillion times stronger than he was when he left. And stops Cell from getting there, which we think, oh, that changes the future. Well, no, because I don't know, they got the Avengers time travel rules where technically Trunks' future is in a parallel universe, even though every time they travel to the future, it's his future, and it kind of makes no sense. I don't know. Dragon Ball Super will also make it even more confusing with Zamasu and Goku Black. But, Super Saiyan Rose Egg, your hair is pink, deal with it. Anyway, yeah. But Trunks is there. I guess I needed an extra person since Goku couldn't actually be there, although he is there. Sean Shamwell does do the voice from the Afterlife, and he later comes in to help Gohan with one punch. Yeah. So, I'm starting to see a wash, rinse, repeat sort of thing with these villains. Every villain has to have some kind of transformation. Like, you had the Saiyans, they turned to Ozaru. Frieza had transformations. Cell had transformations. The androids didn't really. Android 13 did. And then seems like every villain in the movies, right? So you had Garlic Jr., who could transform to a big thing. Dr. Wheelo not really transforms, but he kind of has a robot body. The third one didn't really have anything. Lord Slug had a bigger, badder version of himself. What was 5? What was 5? Cooler. Cooler had a transformation. Not really much in Cooler's Revenge or Return of the Cooler. Android 13 had a transformation. Broly sort of had a transformation. He has a Super Saiyan and a super pumped up Saiyan mode. And then here. So they have some sort of transformation in a way. So it's kind of a rinse, wash, repeat of that. Bojack looks pretty good doing it. Obviously Bojack's not that memorable for me because I think it's the first time I ever actually watched this movie, and it's not bad actually. I like that Gohan for the most part is on his own doing this, but clearly either they wrote themselves in the corner or some kind of mandate from Funimation that Goku had to at least, like, maybe they wrote the script and Gohan was the sole fighter, like the main hero. Someone at Funimation went, no, Goku's the star of the show. He has to be in this fight. So they wrote one little blurb of him illegally, by the way, like against the rules, jumping out of afterlife world, other world, whatever you call it, another dimension in the other dub of other world, and just hitting one punch on Bojack, which reinvigorates Gohan so that he can fight once again, and he defeats him. It just feels like they wanted Gohan. It felt like Gohan was always supposed to do this, but Funimation wagged their finger and said, no, Goku has to at least have a little bit of fight. And so they put that little blurb in there. That's what it feels like. Honestly, if it was Goku cheering on Gohan the whole time from the afterlife and didn't, lend a hand, didn't help, nothing, I think it would work. It would call back to the Super Kamehameha from when or the father-son Kamehameha when he fought Cell. That he's there. Maybe they do that again. I know it's a little bit of a rinse, wash, repeat thing, but it would work, right? Because how many times they use the damn spirit bomb? I'm just saying. Yeah. So defeats Bojack, and of course Hercule is called the hero because of course he is. The world champion. Ooh yeah. And life goes on. Also, it's interesting to point out that Chi-Chi is actually cheering for Gohan to fight. And Bulma's very confused, but she says he got all his homework done, so I don't know. I think she changes her stance a little bit. But as we find out in GT, which I'm not sure is canon, although they do sort of follow through with it on Super, is that he sort of is also a scholar and a fighter. He'll fight when he's needed, but he's also a bookworm. So when he's needed, he'll fight. So yeah. And yes, for those who don't know, I didn't mention that Chi-Chi is pregnant because when the next series of arcs where Gohan is now adult, but he's like a teenager or college age, is revealed that Goku and Chi-Chi had another son. Apparently he banged her during the Cell Games part, and she got pregnant, and Goten was born. Yeah, I don't know. It's another character that looks like Goku, though, so. But yeah, let's not mention that, because he'll probably be going forward, especially as we go through the next one. But yeah, this was actually pretty good. I enjoyed this quite a bit. Is it better than Lord Slug and Broly? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But we shall see. So, what are your thoughts on Dragon Ball Z Bojack Unbound? By the way, the Unbound is because he was stuck in the. He was bound to inside the planet. Now he's free. He's unbound. Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.